Have you ever wondered if there could be such a thing as a failed human? A provocative question, isn't it? And yet, it's a concept that has been contemplated, pondered upon, and dissected from various perspectives throughout the ages. Failure, as we understand it, is often associated with actions, decisions, or endeavors. It is a concept we can easily grasp in the material world. However, when we shift this lens to the realm of human existence, things become a bit more complex. From a philosophical standpoint, can a human truly fail? Some philosophers argue that failure is a construct of societal norms and expectations. They suggest that it is not the individual who fails, but rather the society that fails the individual by imposing restrictive standards and norms. Sociologically, the idea of a failed human often relates to one's inability to conform to societal roles or expectations. This perspective posits that failure is not an intrinsic quality of a person, but is instead a label imposed by society. Psychologists, on the other hand, might explore the concept of a failed human in terms of mental health and well-being. They may consider how feelings of inadequacy, despair, or disconnection from society might lead a person to perceive themselves as a failure. This brings us to a fascinating exploration of this theme in the realm of literature. Osamu Dazai, a renowned Japanese author, grapples with the idea of a failed human in his novel, No Longer Human. This novel delves into the raw, unsettling, and deeply moving narrative of a man who perceives himself as a failure in the human realm. It is a profound exploration of the human condition, identity, and the concept of failure from an intensely personal perspective. If you've ever questioned the essence of humanity and what it means to fail as a human, then Osamu Dazai's No Longer Human is a journey you'll want to embark on. Join us as we delve deeper into this intriguing narrative in our next scenes. The world of Oba Yozo awaits you. Oba Yozo, the protagonist of No Longer Human, is a man who believes he's failed at being human. Born in the early 20th century Japan, his life is a cascade of events steeped in melancholy, confusion, and desperation. As a child, Yozo struggles to understand the human world around him. His inability to comprehend others' emotions and motivations leaves him feeling like an outsider, a stranger in his own life. He dons the mask of a clown, a jester to fit in, using humor as a shield to protect his true self from the world. As Yozo matures into adolescence, the mask begins to crack. He grapples with the harsh realities of life, the suffocating norms of society, and the ever-present dread of his own existence. His relationships are marred by his inability to connect on a deeper level, leading him further into the abyss of isolation. He seeks solace in the written word, pouring his thoughts and feelings onto paper, in an attempt to make sense of his world. The adult Yozo is a man tormented by his own mind. His struggle to understand human nature intensifies, leading him down a path of self-destruction and despair. He drowns his sorrows in alcohol, and the comfort he finds in the bottle only fuels his downward spiral. His life becomes a series of failed relationships, broken promises, and lost hopes. In his desperate search for meaning and acceptance, Yozo spirals into madness. His life, once filled with the laughter of a clown, is now consumed by the silent cry of a man who believes he has failed at being human. His journey is a testament to the unspoken struggles many face, hidden behind smiles and laughter. In the end, Yozo's story is not just a tale of a man's descent into madness, but a reflection of the human condition, the struggle to fit in, and the harsh reality of isolation and despair. Oba Yozo's life paints a haunting picture of isolation, despair, and a profound sense of failure. What does Oba Yozo's story tell us about the human condition and the concept of failure? This is a question that invites us into a profound exploration of the human psyche, the corners of our existence that we often shy away from. In No Longer Human, Osamu Dazai delves into themes that are as universal as they are deeply personal. The human condition, a complex cocktail of emotions, experiences, and existential dilemmas, is laid bare in the narrative. It's a condition marked by vulnerability, fear, and an incessant quest for understanding, acceptance, and meaning. Failure, on the other hand, is often seen as an undesirable outcome, a mark of inadequacy. Yet, Dazai challenges this notion. He presents failure not as an endpoint, but as a critical part of the human journey. Yozo's failures are not just his own, they echo the failures of society, the failures of understanding and empathy, the failures of rigid norms that stifle individuality. Yozo's experiences reflect the broader societal issues that we grapple with. His struggle with identity, his battle with mental health, his desperate attempts to fit into societal molds are not unique to him. They are a mirror to our collective struggles, our shared human condition. At the intersection of the human condition and failure, we find a profound existential dilemma. Are we defined by our failures? Or do our failures in fact define our humanity? Desire seems to suggest the latter. Yozo's story is not a tale of despair, but rather a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to find meaning amidst chaos, to rise from the ashes of failure. Oba Yozo's story forces us to question our own understanding of what it means to be human and what it means to fail. It invites us to embrace our vulnerabilities, our fears, our failures, and see them not as signs of weakness, but as integral parts of our human existence. We are, after all, beautifully flawed creatures navigating through the complexities of life, constantly evolving, constantly learning, constantly failing, and yet constantly rising. So, what can we learn from a so-called failed human like Oba Yozo? Well, for starters, Yozo's story offers a striking exploration of the human condition in its barest form. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality of our own vulnerabilities, our capacity for self-destruction, and the paradox of our existence. The tale of Yozo serves as a mirror, reflecting our own fears and insecurities, and challenging our perception of success and failure. It's a potent reminder that we as humans often grapple with our own sense of worth and struggle to find our place in the world. The narrative also underscores the importance of empathy and understanding in our interactions with others. It's a call to be kinder, not just to others, but also to ourselves. So as we navigate through our own lives, let's remember that our failures, much like our successes, shape our human experience. In the end, perhaps No Longer Human serves as a stark reminder that failure in all its forms is an inherent part of the human condition.